Students, in today's lecture, we are going to discuss regarding the general characters of the fungi and the classification of the fungi. Okay, we have discussed in the last lecture regarding the Batrachospermum. Up till now, we have discussed the general characteristic features of the algae, and also we have discussed the five algae. Okay, up till now we have discussed the nostoc, which is the member of the Cyanophyceae. Then we have discussed the Cara, member of the Chlorophyceae. Then we have discussed the Botridium, member of Xanthophyceae. Then also we have discussed the Sargassum, the member of the Phaeophyceae. And also we have discussed the Batrachospermum, which is the member of the Rhodophyceae. Okay, in today's lecture, we are going to start the unit third, which is dedicated to the fungi. Okay, before going for the different types of the fungi, before discussing the life cycle of the different fungi, you should be aware about the general characteristic features of the fungi and also the classification of the fungi. And that's why in today's lecture, we are going to discuss about the general characters of the fungi and also classification of the fungi. Okay, here the first of all regarding the fungi, what is mean by the fungi or the introduction to the fungi. Here you can see the term fungi. It is derived from the Latin word fungor. Okay, the term fungi is derived from the Latin word fungor. Okay, fungor, the meaning of the Latin word fungor means to flourish. Okay, generally the term to flourish, it is used for the mushrooms because these are believed to be developed very fast. That is, these mushrooms, they develop very fast and they develops overnight. And that's why the term fungi, it is derived from the Latin word the fungor, which is meaning to flourish. And generally the fungor Latin word, it is mainly referring to the mushrooms which develops the overnight. That means the term fungi meaning the mushroom. Okay, the term fungi meaning the mushroom. Okay, because the scientists were attracted to the mushrooms, and that is how the study of the different types of the fungi was started. Okay, because the fungi, these are very colorful, these are very attractive, they develop very fast. That is, we can say that is they develop overnight. Okay, that is they flourish very fast, and that's why the term fungi, it was derived from the Latin word fungor meaning the flourish. Okay, the scientists get get attracted to the mushrooms, and that is how the different types of the fungi, the study of the different types of the fungi was started. Okay, simply the fungi, that is these are the chlorophyll less thallophytic plant. Okay, that is these are not having the any type of the chlorophyll pigments, and these are the thallophytic plant. Thallophytic, that means that is these are not differentiated into the true root, stem and the leaves. That's why we are calling the structure of the fungi, it is a thallus or it is a thallophytic. Thallophytic, the plant body, it is not differentiated into the true root, stem and the leaves. Okay, the existence was found from the fossil records of the pre-Cambrian period. Okay, their existence, it is generally believed that there is different types of the fungi, these were developed long back in the geological time scale. Okay, were developed long back in the geological time scale, and generally these mushrooms, these attracted the human being from the beginning. And that's why the different types of fungi, that is these the references, these are found in the ancient literature like the Roman literature, Greek literature, then Indian literature. In the Vedas, the different types of the fungi are mentioned. There are references in the Vedas which were written very long ago. In these Vedas, the references of the fungi are also found. Even the references of the fungi, these are also found in the Bible. Okay, that's why we are seeing that that is the fungi, these are believed 5,000.
सर तुमचा आवाज ब्रेक होतोय.
Large number of world, okay, are present in the world, okay, but 5,000 genera and 50,000 species of the fungi have been recorded. Okay, there the branch of botany that mainly deals with the fungi, it is known as the mycology. Okay, the branch of botany that mainly deals with the fungi, it is known as the mycology. Here the term mycology, it is made up of two words, that is the myx, that is myx means the mushroom, and the logos means the study. Okay, the branch of botany that mainly deals with the fungi is known as the mycology. The term mycology, it is made up of two words, that is due to the mushroom. Myx means the mushroom, and the logos means the study. Logos means the study. Okay, and the concerned scientist, that is the botanist, which study the different types of the fungi, these are called as the mycologist. Okay, in the mycology, generally the life history, then the relationships and the evolutionary tendencies of the fungi are studied. Okay, the branch of botany that mainly deals with the study of the fungi, it is known as the mycology. Mycology, it is made up of two words, that is the myx. Myx means the mushroom, and the logos means the study. And the botanist, which mainly deals with the study of the different fungi, these are called as the mycologist. In the mycology, in this branch of botany, the life history, relationships, and the evolutionary tendencies of the fungi, these are mainly studied. Okay, that is regarding the introduction, or we can say the concept of the fungi. Then the occurrence of the fungi. Occurrence of the fungi, that is the fungi, these are cosmopolitan in distribution. Cosmopolitan in distribution means that is these are worldwide in distribution, and these are present, these fungi occur in all possible habitats. Okay, in all possible habitat, the fungi, these are cosmopolitan in distribution, and these fungi can occur in any type of the habitat where the life is possible. Okay, that's why we are saying that is the fungi, these are cosmopolitan in distribution. Just we have discussed that is the fungi, that is these are the chlorophyll less organism. That means the fungi, these are not having the any type of the chlorophyll pigment. That's why that is they cannot synthesize their own food material, and therefore these are heterotrophic. Heterotrophic means that is these are deriving their nutrition from the different sources. Okay, that is the some of the fungi, these may be saprophytic, while some of the fungi, these are parasitic, while some of the fungi are the symbionts. Okay, as the fungi, these are not having the any chlorophyll pigment, they cannot synthesize their own food material, and therefore the fungi, these are heterotrophic, and they may be saprophytes, parasites, or the symbionts. Okay, here saprophytes means that is the there are certain fungi which derive their food material from the dead decaying organic matter. These fungi, these are called as the saprophytes. Okay, saprophytic fungi means what? The fungi which derive their nutrition, which derive their food from the dead decaying organic matter, these are called as the saprophytes. Okay, then the second one, that is the some of the fungi are parasitic. Parasitic fungi means what? That is these are fungi deriving the nutrition or their food material from the other living plants or the animals. Okay, the fungi which derive their food material from other living plants or the animals, these are called as the parasitic fungi. While some of the fungi, these are symbiotic. Symbiotic, that is these are living with the other organisms in mutual understanding. That means both these partners, that is these are mutually benefited. Okay, symbiotic fungi, the classic example of the symbiotic fungi, it is the lichen. Okay, the lichen is formed due to the symbiotic association of the algae and the fungi, where algae and fungi both are mutually benefited from each other. Okay, both the partners living in the mutual understanding. Okay, mutually benefited, that is such type of the fungi are called as the symbiotic fungi. Then most of the fungi, these are terrestrial, which grow in the soil. These are growing on the dead and decaying organic material, while some of the fungi, these are growing on both the plants and the animals. Then some of the fungi, these are even grow on the foods like the jam, then bread, fruits, etc. Some of the members of the fungi, these are also found in the water, and these are referred as the aquatic fungi. Then certain fungi, these are even present in the air. Okay, that is how, that is the fungi, these are cosmopolitan in distribution, and they occur in any type of the habitat where the life is possible. Okay, that is all about the occurrence of the fungi. Then here you can see in the photograph, that is the vegetative structure. Vegetative structure of the fungi. Vegetative structure of the fungi, here the fungi, these are generally thalloid. Thalloid means that is these are the plant body, it is not differentiated into the true root, stem and the leaves, and the thallus, it is filamentous type. It is, here you can see the different filaments of the um, thallus of the fungus. Okay, the generally it is thalloid, it is not differentiated into the true root, stem and the leaves, and it is filamentous. Then the each of the filament, that is these are known as the hyphae. Okay, large number of the filaments come together, and then there is a formation of a thallus of the fungus. Each of the filament, suppose here it is the single filament, the single filament, it is referred as the hypha. Okay, and when the large number of the hypha are present, it is referred as the hyphae. Okay, the single filament in the fungus thallus, it is called as the hypha, and whenever the large number of the filaments are present, these are referred as the hyphae. Okay, then large number of the hyphae, they come together, and the tangled mass of these hyphae, it is referred as the mycelium. Okay, the large number of the hyphae, they come together, and these are forming the tangled mass, and this mass, it is called as the mycelium. That means here we are referring the thallus of the fungi as the mycelium. Okay, always remember that the thallus of the fungi, it is always referred as the mycelium. Okay, here then the hyphae, it consists of the vacuolated cytoplasm, then endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, and the Golgi bodies. Okay, in the hyphae, it is having the vacuolated cytoplasm. Okay, here you can see the vacuolated cytoplasm is present, and also in the hyphae there is a presence of the different types of the cell organelles like the endoplasmic reticulum, then mitochondria, and the Golgi bodies. Okay, then another important thing in the hyphae is that is there is a presence of the pores, or sorry, here the reserve food material is also present in the hyphae. Okay, in the hyphae, the food material, it is reserved in the form of glycogen or fat globules. Okay, in the hyphae of the fungi, the food material, it is stored in the form of glycogen or in the fat globules. Then the cell wall, it is made up of fungal cellulose. Fungal cellulose, it is referred as the chitin. Okay, the cell wall of the hyphae in the fungi, it is made up of the chitin. Okay, chitin, it is the type of the fungal cellulose which is referred as the chitin. The sometimes in some of the fungi, the cell wall, it is made up of glucan and the cellulose. Okay, that is about the vegetative structure in the fungi. Here you can see that is there are certain fungi that is which are unicellular. Okay, unicellular, for example, it is the Saccharomyces. Okay, most of the fungi, these are multicellular, but there are very few fungi which are unicellular. Here the example of the unicellular fungi, it is the Saccharomyces. Okay, it is the Saccharomyces. Then another important thing is there, the hyphae. The hyphae or the filament in the mycelium of the fungi, it may be aseptate or it may be septate. Okay, it may be aseptate or it may be septate. Aseptate means what? Here the large number of the nuclei, that is these are present. Okay, here you can see this is the aseptate type of the hyphae. For example, in the mucor, it is a aseptate fungi. Aseptate means what? Septa means that is the partition wall which is present in the hyphae. Here you can see the large number of the nuclei are present without any partition wall or without any septa. And here you can see that is these are the septate fungi. Here the nuclei is are present, but the partition walls or the septa are present in the hyphae of the mycelium. Thus, here you can see the hyphae, it may be aseptate or it may be septate. Aseptate means what? There are presence of the large number of the nuclei, but here there is a complete absence of the partition wall. Okay, there is a complete absence of the partition wall. For example, mucor and the aseptate hyphae, that is the aseptate hyphae, it is said to be the cenocytic. Cenocytic, Cenocytic. Okay, aseptate means the large number of the nuclei are present in the hyphae, but there is a complete absence of the partition wall. It is said to be the aseptate hyphae. Aseptate hyphae, that is, it is also referred as the cenocytic. Cenocytic. Then here you can see that is the whenever the partition walls are present, there are three different types of the hyphae. Here the first one, the monokaryotic. Mono means single and karyon means the nucleus. Whenever only a one nucleus it is present in the partition wall, the in one partition, it is said to be the monokaryotic. Okay, it is said to be the monokaryotic. Then dikaryotic, here you can see that is in one compartment there is a presence of the types of the nuclei, two nuclei. Okay, that is said to be the dikaryotic septate. And here you can see the multinucleate septate. Multinucleate means in one compartment the large number of the nuclei are scattered, and thus that is this is multinucleate septate hyphae. Okay, the hyphae in the fungi, it may be aseptate or the septate. Aseptate, it is said to be the without any partition wall and it is referred as the cenocytic. While the septate, the partition walls are present. It may be monokaryotic, that means only one nuclei it is present in the compartment. Then dikaryotic, whenever the two different nuclei these are present in one compartment. And multinucleate means whenever the large number of the nuclei these are scattered in one compartment, it is referred as the multinucleate. Okay, that is all about the vegetative structure of the thallus. Then here you can see in the higher fungi, the higher fungi which are placed under the subdivision zygomycotina, ascomycotina, basidiomycotina, and the deuteromycotina. Okay, these are the considered as the higher fungi or the advanced type of the fungi in which the motile cells does not occur at any stage. Okay, the higher fungi which are placed under the subdivisions zygomycotina, ascomycotina, basidiomycotina, and deuteromycotina, the motile cells does not occur at in stage. That means in the higher fungi, the flagella, these are entirely absent. The lower fungi, which are considered as the primitive fungi, these are placed in the subdivision Mastigomycotina. Okay, lower fungi means these are considered as the primitive fungi, and these are placed in the subdivision Mastigomycotina, where the reproductive cells may be uni or the biflagellate. Okay, reproductive cells where sometimes in the lower fungi the different types of the asexual spores are produced. Then the male gamete, that is these are motile. Okay, in the lower fungi or the primitive fungi which are included in the subdivision Mastigomycotina, the reproductive cells may be uni or the biflagellate. Uni or biflagellate means there may be the presence of the single flagella, or sometimes the pair of flagella may be present on the motile cells. And then again here you can see there may be the presence of the two types of the flagella. Here you can see this is the whiplash type of the flagella, which is referred as the acronematic. Okay, because there is a complete absence of the femurs or the hairs on these type of the flagella. The wall of these flagella, this is smooth, and therefore these type of the flagella, these are referred as the whiplash or the acronematic type of the flagella. Then the another type of the flagella, here you can see there is a presence of the small femurs or the hairs on the surface of the flagella, and therefore these type of the flagella, these are referred as the tinsel, or these are also called as the pentanematic type of the flagella. Okay, thus in the fungi there may be the presence of the two types of the flagella, that is the whiplash or acronematic means these are smooth walled flagella, and the tinsel and the pentanematic flagella means there is a presence of the small hairs or the femurs on the surface of the flagella. Okay, then about the reproduction. Okay, just now we have discussed the vegetative structure. Now we are going to discuss the reproduction in the flagella. Okay, reproduction in the flagella, here you can see the fungi in which only a part of vegetative thallus it forms the reproductive unit. These type of fungi are called as the eucarpic type of the fungi. Okay, in some of the fungi only a small part of the vegetative thallus it is utilized for the development of the reproductive units. Then these type of the fungi are referred as the eucarpic fungi. Okay, but in the unicellular fungi, just we have discussed the example of the unicellular fungi, that is the Saccharomyces, where the whole cell it is transformed into the reproductive unit, and in that case these unicellular fungi are called as the holocarpic fungi. Okay, it's very simple, that is the fungi in which only a small part of the vegetative thallus it is utilized for the development of the reproductive unit. Then these type of the fungi, these are referred as the eucarpic fungi, while in unicellular fungi, the entire content of the cell, the whole cell, it is transformed into the reproductive unit, and such type of the fungi are called as the holocarpic fungi. Okay, then the fungi they reproduces by the three different means, that is for example vegetative reproduction, then asexual reproduction, and the sexual reproduction. Okay, fungi they may produce by the three methods of the reproduction, that is vegetative, asexual reproduction, and the sexual reproduction. Here, first of all, the vegetative reproduction. Vegetative reproduction in the fungi, it may take place by the three methods. The first one is the fragmentation, second one it is the budding, and the third one it is the fission. Here in this first photograph, you can see that is how exactly the fragmentation of the hyphae takes place. Okay, that is fragmentation due to the certain mechanical injury. The mycelium of the fungal thallus it break down into the large number of the fragment, and then each of the fragment then grows into the new fungal thallus. That is how the fragmentation works. Then the second type of the vegetative reproduction, here you can see the budding. Budding means what? Here you can see it is the mother cell. Okay, and a small outgrowth it is developed in the mother cell, and in this small outgrowth the nucleus, the first of all the nuclei divides, and then the cytoplasm and cell organelles, that is it will move into that small outgrowth, that is called as the bud, and that bud then get detached from the parent cell or the mother cell, and then it will develop into the new fungal thallus, that is we called it as a budding. And the third one, it is the fission. Okay, this is the single mother cell where the first of all the nuclear division takes place. That is, from one nuclei the two nuclei are formed, and then later on the cell elongation takes place. There is a formation of a septa in the median constriction, and later on the that mother cell, it get breakdown into the two daughter cells. That is, we called it as a fission. Okay, simply fission means what? That is, the one mother cell, it get breakdown into the two daughter cells, and that is we called it as a fission. Okay, the vegetative reproduction in fungi, it may takes place by the three methods. The first one, the fragmentation, second one, budding, and the third one, it is the fission. Okay, fragmentation means due to the certain mechanical injury, the mycelium of the fungus, it get breakdown into the large number of the fragments, and each of the fragment, it is having the capacity to divide, redivide, and then get developed into the new fungal mycelium. Then second one, budding. Here you can see a small outgrowth is developed on the mother cell. Then the nuclear division takes place. One nuclei, it moves into the bud. Along with the nuclei, then the certain type of the cell organelles and also the cytoplasm, it moves into the bud, and thus a bud is developed, and that bud, it get detached from the mother cell, and from that bud new fungal mycelium is developed. Then the third one, fission. Fission means the breakdown of one mother cell into the two daughter cells. That is called as the fission. So first of all, the division of the nuclei takes place. Here you can see the division of the nucleus. The one nucleus, it get divided into the two nuclei. Then later on, a median constriction is developed, and then the partition wall is developed, and that is how the two daughter nuclei are formed from the single mother cell. Okay, that is how the vegetative reproduction in the fungi takes place. Then the asexual reproduction in the fungi. Asexual reproduction in the fungi, only the 20% of the fungi reproduces by the asexual method. That means the most common method of reproduction in the fungi, it is the sexual reproduction. Okay, remember that the most common method of reproduction in the fungi, it is the sexual reproduction, because only 20% of the fungi, they reproduces by the asexual method. Okay, asexual reproduction in the fungi, it takes place by means of several types of the spores, which are generally formed during the favorable condition. Asexual reproduction in the fungi, it takes place by the formation of the different types of the spores. The spores which are developed in the fungi, they may be unicellular or the multicellular. Okay, different types of the spores which are developed during the asexual reproduction, they may be unicellular or multicellular. Then they may be exogenous. Exogenous means that is, these are developed on the certain stalk like structures. These stalk like structures are called as the conidiophore, or these are called as the sporangiophore. Or they may be endogenous, means these may get developed within the specialized structures, within the sac like specialized structures, and these are called as the sporangium or the pycnidium. These are called as the sporangium or the pycnidium. Then here you can see the different types of the spores which are developed in the fungi. That is, these are the zoospores. Zoospores, that is, these are the motile spores. And conidia, chlamydospores, oidea, and the aplanospores, these are non-motile. Okay, here the zoospores, these are the motile spores, and the remaining other spores like the conidia, chlamydospores, and the oidea, these oidea and the aplanospores, these are non-motile spores. Okay, here you can see that is the conidia. That is, these are developed exogenously. Exogenously means these are present on the small stalk-like structure. The small stalk-like structure, it is developed on the hypha. and this small stalk like structure it is called as the conidiophore. And on the conidiophore, these conidia, these are developed in the chain. Okay, here you can also see that is how exactly the conidia, here the single one, it is called as the conidium. It is also the conidiophore, that is the small stalk like structure on the conidia are developed. It is unbranched conidiophore, where here you can see that is it is a branched conidiophore. On each of the branches, then there is a development of the conidia in the chain. Okay, here also then you can see the chlamydospores. Okay, the chlamydospores. Then here you can see the sporangia. These sporangia, these are produced on the stalk-like structure, and this stalk-like structure it is called as the sporangiophore. Here you can see the zoosporangia, because this is these are spores, these are produced endogenously means that is these are produced within the specialized structure. Okay, and here you can see these conidia, these are developed exogenously. Okay, here these zoospores, these are produced endogenously, these are produced within the specialized structure, and these are called as the zoosporangium. Here you can see that is the these are the motile spores, that is these are the zoospores. Okay, zoospores, these are the only motile spores which are produced in the fungi, and all other spores, for example, here you can see the chlamydospores, that is these are non-motile. Okay, here also you can see this is the mucor. Here the sporangia is present. Within this sporangium, the spores are produced, and the sporangia, these are produced on the small stalk-like structure. These are called as the sporangiophores. Here you can see simply it is the sporangium. Okay, it is the sporangium, and this one, in this one you can see the large number of the small spores are produced. Okay, that is how exactly the spores are produced exogenously. Here you can see these are produced exogenously, and here you can see that is these are produced endogenously within the specialized sac-like structure. That sac-like structure, it may be referred as the pycnidium, or it is referred as the sporangium. Okay, then regarding the sexual reproduction, fungi except the deuteromycotina. Okay, all the fungi except which are included into the subdivision deuteromycotina, they reproduces by the asexual method. Okay, that means the deuteromycotina, it is the subdivision, and in this subdivision it is the artificial subdivision, because all the fungi which does not produce sexually, or up till now the sexual reproduction it is not reported, all these fungi, these are placed in the single subdivision that is called as the deuteromycotina. Okay, these are referred as the deuteromycotina, and these are commonly called as the fungi imperfecti. Okay, why these are called as the fungi imperfecti? Because the sexual reproduction it is considered as the perfect stage in the life cycle of the any species. Okay, but here the perfect stage, that is the sexual reproduction, it is completely absent in the fungi which are included in the subdivision deuteromycotina, and therefore the fungi which are included into the subdivision deuteromycotina, these are commonly called as the fungi imperfecti, due to the absence of the perfect stage, that is the sexual reproduction. Here the sexual reproduction it takes place in the three steps, or the three stages. The three stages are: the first one it is the plasmogamy, second one it is the karyogamy, and the third one it is the meiosis. Okay, so first of all, the plasmogamy. Okay, the sexual reproduction in the fungi it takes place in the three steps. The first step in the sexual reproduction it is the plasmogamy. Plasmogamy means what? Gamy means that is the union. Plasmo means protoplasm. Here, the first of all, the fusion of the protoplasm takes place, and nuclei just come together. That is, we called it as a plasmogamy. Plasmogamy. That means the fusion of only protoplasm. Okay, that is the first step in the sexual reproduction. Then the second step it is the karyogamy. Karyon means nucleus, gamy means union. Okay, in the first step, the protoplasm of the two compatible cells, two reproductive cells takes place. The two nuclei come together, and in the second step, that is the karyogamy, the two nuclei, that is, they get fused with each other. That is, we call it as a karyogamy. Simply, we can say the fusion of the two compatible nuclei. Then the fusion of the two compatible nuclei, and then there will be the formation of a diploid cell, that is, we call it as a zygote. Okay, and then later on the meiosis takes place. Meiosis, where the zygote undergo the meiotic division, and again the haploid stage is re-established in the life cycle of the fungi. Okay, that is how the sexual reproduction takes place in the three stages. The first one, plasmogamy, that is the union of only protoplasm. Then karyogamy, fusion of the two compatible nuclei and the formation of the diploid cell called as the zygote. And the third step, it is the meiosis. Meiotic division takes place in the zygote, and again the haploid stage, it is re-established in the life cycle of the fungi. Then the plasmogamy, that is the first phase of the sexual reproduction, differs in the different fungi. Okay, that means the protoplasm of the two compatible cells, two reproductive cells, get fused by the different methods in the different fungi. Okay, here you can see the compatible nuclei, these are brought together by the five different methods. Okay, there are five methods by which the compatible nuclei, these are brought together, or we can say there are five methods by which the plasmogamy takes place in the fungi. Okay, in some of the fungi, here you can see the first method, planogametic copulation takes place. Okay, planogametic copulation means what? Here the fusion of two naked gametes takes place, and that is, we call it as a planogametic copulation. Okay, planogametic copulation means what? Here simply the fusion of two naked gametes takes place, that is called as the planogametic copulation. The planogametic copulation, it may be of the three types. Here the isogamy, iso means similar. Here the two fusing gametes, that is, these are identical in their shape, size, and the color. They cannot be differentiated as a male gamete and the female gamete. Okay, then anisogamy, here you can see anisogamy, that means the two fusing gametes, these are morphologically dissimilar, and that's why the male gamete and the female gamete, they can be distinguished. And here again you can see the oogamy, that is the another type of the planogametic copulation, where the it is considered as the specialized and the advanced type of the sexual reproduction, where you can see the male gamete, it is the anthrozoid, and these are produced within the antheridium. And here you can see the female reproductive organ, it is called as the oogonium. Okay, that is all about the planogametic copulation. Planogametic copulation means what? That is the fusion of the two naked gametes, which takes place by isogamy or anisogamy or the oogamy. Then the second type of the plasmogamy here, that is the gametangial contact. Gametangial contact, here the gametes, these are never released from the gametangia. Okay, here you can see that is the gametes, these are released from the gametangia, and the fusion of the naked gamete takes place. But here in the gametangial contact, what happens? The gametes, male gametes, and the female gametes, or the male nuclei or the female nuclei, these are never released from the gametangia. And here the two gametangia, here you can see it is the female gametangia, which is called as the oogonium, and here you can see that is the male gametangia, which is called as the antheridium. The antheridium and the oogonium, they come close to each other. Then at the point of the contact, there is a formation of a tube like structure. Here you can see the tube like structure, where the contact is maintained from the female gametangia and the male gametangia, and through this tube like structure, the nuclei, migrate into the gametangia. Okay, here you can see the male nuclei. The male nuclei, it migrates into the female gametangia, that is the oogonium. Here, these gametangia, they never lose their identity during the process, and that is called as the gametangial contact. Okay, gametangial contact means simply that is the gametes, these are never released from the gametangia. Then the two gametangia, that is the male gametangia, which is called as the antheridium, and female gametangia called as the oogonium, they come close in contact with each other. Then there is a formation of a tube-like structure between the male gametangia and the female gametangia, and through this tube-like structure the male nuclei, these are migrated into the female gametangia, which is called as the oogonia. Here the two gametangia never lose their identity. Okay, that is we call it as a gametangial contact. Then the third one, gametangial copulation. Gametangial copulation means here the fusion of the entire content of the gametangia takes place. Here only in the gametangial contact you can see only the male nuclei, it is migrated into the female gametangia and fused with the female nuclei. But in the gametangial copulation, what happens here, you can see the two gametangia, they come close in contact with each other. Then their point of attachment, their wall, it get dissolved, and then ultimately the entire content of the gametangia, it get mixed with each other. Okay, it get mixed with each other, and such type of the plasmogamy, it is called as the gametangial copulation. Okay, the fusion of the entire content of the gametangia takes place. That is, here the two compatible gametangia come close to each other, their wall it get dissolved, and then the entire content of the gametangia, it get mixed with each other. That is, we call it as a gametangial copulation. Then here the fourth method, it is the spermatization. Spermatization generally it takes place in the advanced or the specialized genera. For example, Puccinia. Here the sex organs, these are completely absent. Okay, the sex organs, these are not produced in the advanced genera. The sexual process or the fertilization, it is occurred by the minute spore like the spermatia. Okay, spermatia, here you can see that is these are the non-motile structures. Here, the sexual process, it is occurred by the minute spore-like non-motile structures called as the spermatia. These are functioning as a male gamete, and these spermatia, these are then get fused with the receptive hyphae. Okay, these are fused with the receptive hyphae. Here you can see that is this is the trichogyne, this is the hyphae which get fused with this spermatia. Okay, and generally these are spermatia, these are brought to the receptive hyphae by the different means, that is by the air, water, insect, and then at the point of their contact their wall dissolved, and ultimately the sexual reproduction takes place. Okay, that is we called it as a spermatization. Spermatization, it takes place in the advanced genera of the fungi. Here the sex organs, these are completely absent, and the sexual process, it is occurred by the minute spore like structures which are called as the male gametes. These are non-motile, these are called as the spermatia. They get fused with the specialized receptive hyphae which is called as the trichogyne. Okay, then somatogamy. Okay, in the last, here the fifth one, it is called as the somatogamy. Somatogamy, here also the sex organs, these are never developed, these are never produced. Here only the two vegetative hyphae takes over the function of the male gamete and female gamete. They get fused with each other, and that is how the sexual reproduction takes place. Okay, here you can see there are two mycelia. They takes over the function of the male gamete and the female gamete, and the fusion of these two hyphae takes place. And here you can see that is how actually the fusion of the two hyphae takes place and the sexual reproduction is accomplished. Okay, that is we called it as a somatogamy. Somatogamy, why it is called as the somatogamy? Where because the two vegetative somatic hyphae fuse with each other. Okay, and the reproductive organs are not developed, and that's why this method it is called as the somatogamy. That is all about the sexual reproduction in the fungi. Then here you can see the classification. The classification of the fungi it is proposed by the different mycologists, but as per our syllabus prescribed by our university, we are here following the classification which is proposed by the Alexopoulos and the Mims in the 1979. Okay, here in this photograph, you can see the classification which is proposed by the Alexopoulos and the Mims. As per this classification, all the fungi these are included in the kingdom Mycete. Okay, all the fungi these are included in the kingdom mycete, and the kingdom mycete it is having the three subdivisions, sorry, three divisions. The first division it is the gymnomycota, another division it is the mastigomycota, and the third division it is the amastigomycota. Here you can see the gymnomycota it is having the two subdivision. The first subdivision it is the acratiogymnomycotina. This subdivision Acratiogymnomycotina, it consists of single class that is called as the Acratiomycetes. Then second subdivision here you can see the Plasmodiogymnomycotina. Okay, Plasmodiogymnomycotina it is having the two classes. The first class it is the Protosteliomycetes, and another class it is the Myxomycetes. Then the second division Mastigomycota, it is also having the two subdivisions. The first subdivision it is the Haplomastigomycotina. It is having the three classes: the Chatridiomycetes, Hypochatridiomycetes, and the Plasmodiophoromycetes. The subdivision, another subdivision, it is the Diplomastigomycotina. It is having the only single class, that is the Oomycetes. Then the third division, it is the Amastigomycota. It is having the four subdivisions, of which the first subdivision, it is the Zygomycotina. It is having the two classes, Zygomycetes and the Trichomycetes. Then another subdivision, it is the Ascomycotina. It is having a single class, Ascomycetes. Then third subdivision, it is the Basidiomycotina. It is having a single class, Basidiomycetes. Then the fourth subdivision, it is the Deuteromycotina, and it is the class Deuteromycetes. Okay, here the subdivision Deuteromycotina, it is considered as the artificial subdivision. Why it is called as the artificial subdivision? Because the fungi which it is an artificial group, because the fungi in which the sexual reproduction is not reported, or the fungi in which the sexual reproduction it is entire, these fungi these are included into this subdivision. This is called as the Deuteromycotina. And Deuteromycotina these are commonly called as the fungi imperfecti, as there is a absence of the perfect stage, that is the sexual reproduction in the life cycle of these fungi. Okay, that is all about the that is all about the general characters and the classification of the fungi.